Almost as good as another one that's coming out, eh?
The XR, they're setting up for that top bounty rune. MTG, they're going to wait around. We'll see if they try to go for another first blood attempt like they did in game 2. They may decide just better of it this time, and it looks like that is going to be the case. Masteros and Q going to show up at the bot side.
Shane.
Fearless. I do like that watch out voice line from Slacks quite a bit. I believe he got that from wrestling, WWF or WWE, whatever they call it these days, but it's a long time ago, but it was one of the better commentary lines that came out of that product.
Yeah, good old wrestling. Missed that. Still, there should be quite the smackdown mid, Mike. Of course, you've got Alacrity running down with Fearless. Kunkka versus Ember lane should be pretty nice for both sides. I think Alacrity should have a better time with a Flame Guard to protect. Of course, as long as you have the Tidebringer here, you're going to be able to zone out the Ember quite nicely in the melee matchup. Up top, the dual lane going to be holding the Elder Titan up against the Ursa, up against Paulson's Earth Spirit and Mizu's Magnus. It's kind of even. You can kind of harass out here. Paulson's just going to go for the pull, but Leonak's going to be able to punish. With some good right clicks coming through, Paulson's not going to be able to sustain this one for too long.
Fair enough. In fact, he's copping a lot of damage. Leonak, he's got the brown boots, he can keep going. Another Astral Spirit up if he wants to commit it, but he's diving the T1, he's going for it. No, never mind. He won't go too far. Anyway, we'll have a look at the other lanes as well. Of course, mid lane, Alacrity going to be there up against Fearless. Looks like Fearless should have a... Oh, actually, maybe First Blood about to occur, and it does.
First Blood. And
managed to find the First Blood on that Kunkka. That's one thing you can never underestimate. The amount of damage you can pump out with the Tidebringer. Fearless with that level 2 Tidebringer already doing so much damage.
It's the one thing for the Ember matchup. It's a melee laner up against Kunkka. Kunkka has a pretty good time just harassing you out with Tidebringer. Your Flame Guard doesn't block that damage. It's counted as physical. You'll only really block Torrent. And even then, that's not a key thing for Fearless in terms of really getting his output. So you have to really play on edge with your Sleight of Fist. And Alacrity's just going to have to watch himself. If Fearless is allowed to hit this level 5 spike into 6 quicker, once the boat is ready, Alacrity might not be feeling so safe on mid. So we'll have to watch it. Bottle is up at least for Alacrity, so you can sustain. Kunkka still saving up for the bottle. He did opt for the double bracer first, so that he does have more stats on hand. And I suppose you don't really need the mana factor in terms of regen. And your HP is fairly fine because Alacrity can't really out-harass you yet. This is a pretty stable way to start for Fearless. It gives us a chance to look at the last lane. Down bot, you've got In Your Dream with 3 for 3 on the Troll and Grimstroke up against Masteros and Q on the Axe Snap, and it's relatively even for now. In Your Dream's not able to really get the free farm he wants. Masteros is harassing quite nicely. You have to watch for the leveled spikes on Masteros. Once he has a value point in the call, or at least 2 points in the counter helix, if you get the cookie combination off, jump in the middle of a creep wave, you can definitely start to melt through In Your Dream. He is playing smart, mainly playing in a range form just to find that safe CS, not giving the Axe the opportunity to spin on top.
Absolutely. So now mid lane going again. Fearless still way ahead. That is to be expected, as Alacrity now going to try and get a bit more aggressive on the Ember. Does get the chains off. Fearless now looking to be in danger. Gets the X back, but Alacrity still wants to chase him down with the Flame Guard and should eventually get him. And does just before he dies. So 1-for-1 trade, but you definitely get the better end of things if you're Alacrity. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like Q does kill off 3-4-3. Same skill build up, by the way, on Q. Not bothering for the little shredder. He does go for the scatter blast max out. It does pan out up against the Grimstroke.
Yeah, it's what you want to see. Level 3 spike up. Masteros goes for the value point in the call. So the cookie combo is very scary coming through here from the Axe. You have to watch your spacing now from the side of Galaxy Racer. The mid lane, you're still seeing a bit of a chase for the bottle rune, but Fearless does grab it in the end. Despite that, they won't.
Gonna get stunned up. In they go. Try and kill off 3-4-3 before he might go down, but no, he will die first. Q still trying for it, but we'll have to eventually just back. Now In Your Dream might be able to find a secondary kill here. And oh, he gets the ensnare off as well. Paulison, he'll be the one to take it on the Earth Spirit. A bit lucky there being your dream with that final ensnare. And like, I suppose you had the roll anyway, so it didn't really matter too much. But definitely a great set of events happening down at the bot side for GXR.
Yeah, they get the tri lane off, they get some aggression on their end now. They've got that beautiful Inkswell combination with a roll in that can fly out. You have to watch yourself here for Masteros. I mean, he does have the Ring of Health up, but the full Vanguard is still about 400 gold away. You're going to need to wait that one out. Once it's up, you can maybe look to apply more pressure. But you are already seeing Paulson starting to camp around, watching for where Fearless might be, waiting for the bounty rune, just taking as much control as possible on that Earth Spirit. The solo lane for Mizu is alright. I don't think the Earth Spirit really helps you out anyway, which is why Paulson's allowed to go here. Mizu's just trying to farm up the camp and trying to get Pulse off while he can, but he can't really stop Jackky at this point. This is pretty much free farm for your Ursa.
Certainly is. Playing a bit of a group up coming in again from GXR. They've got Paulson around. That Grimstroke Earth Spirit combination just so darn powerful with the Inkswell. And now it looks like he's gonna get
That's a really good scan coming out from GXR. They spot the TP rotation from Leonak. So they walk away, they instead opt to steal the bounties. And Paulson does manage to snatch that one away, taking some gold off. Leonak's still going to stalk him though, but you can't really do too much against the Earth Spirit level 3 now. He's just tankier, he's got roll on hand, so he can just bail out and can maybe start to look to wrap around bot instead.
They could. They're going to give it a shot. Q has been caught. Inkswell there is going to connect in time. They won't have the follow-up damage as now Masteros is in with the call out onto Paulson. A nice boulder smash and the slow within your dream. Still trying for the snapfire. Might get it, but it's not going to be worth his life. In fact, he misses out. He's still trying to run, but he's gone way too far forward. Unless he gets away with this juke, but no, Masteros, he gets the blind call. Oh, that is very unfortunate for In Your Dream, and that was just on the edge of the call. I would not be happy if I was the troll, but then again, John, he did go way too far.
Yeah, he dove way too deep. Paulson wasn't committing any of his spells out to help secure that kill under the T1. So you don't get anything out from GXR. The only blessing there for GXR is that we saw Fearless show up, so there's a lot of free space down mid for Alacrity to build up just a bit and Paulson to soak through right now. But you're not pleased. 3-4, 2k lead up for Midway Trust, down to the fact that Jackky is free lane, although he's being jumped.
They go.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Be ensnared in fire.
Line's being drawn out at that top side. It looks like GXR really want to start applying that pressure on Jackky. Really following suit quite yet. It is still 2 up the top. Bottom lane, they're trying to deal with Masteros on the Axe, who is starting to creep skip now, and it's pretty standard stuff for the Axe to try and escalate his own farm and XP this way. Especially when you're up against the troll, you want to just try and avoid the lane altogether if you can, especially up at this stage. Now, that is exactly what he does. Trying to pull those creeps away and farm safely. So I suppose in all, when you look back, it's been sort of a quiet game, right? Like it's 3-4 right now, 2k net worth lead to motivate. Lanes are going okay for both sides. I wouldn't say anyone's too far ahead, but if you do look at the net worth graph, MTG slowly but surely is making their way up into the higher echelon.
Yeah.
In fact, it's going to be a big smoke up now. Bot lane, John, they brought Fearless down along with Leonak, I believe it is, and yeah, it is. X out, boat is there In Your Dream. He does not have battle trance yet. He gets called anyway. Now he levels it up though. He's got enough time, but they just dunk on him. And that's one thing, right? You can always dunk with the Axe. Onto Mizu they go now. Mizu, he hasn't got much to play with. RP is available, maybe they can turn with it, but there's your call out. Masaros, he's more than happy to keep fighting and trying to bait it out. Now, Paulson does roll in onto Leonak. They will get 3-4-3 on the Grimstroke. Meanwhile, Masaros is still alive as Mizu's being very patient with this RP. He's waited out the skewer. He might just commit onto Fearless, and he does, but where's your follow-up damage now? They'll come in within your dream. They'll clean him up. Leonak gets a stop off, but it may not be enough. Still, Masaros, who are you going to try and fight now, sir? He'll go for the call attempt onto Paulson, but they've lost Leonak, and they will not get the call either. The Earth Spirit is going to be all right. And in fact, they'll try to roll back in now onto Q with the boulder smash from Paulson, and it does land. Jackie's going to show up on the Ursa. Why the hell not? Let's just make it a full-blown fiesta down at this bot lane. As in your dream now has been called out on the troll. He doesn't want to really die again, but he may have no choice in the matter. In fact, he will make a run for it. Battle Hunger gonna slow him up. Jackky could Earth Shock, but he is quite far away. Leonak's looking for a stomp attempt, I believe, and might be able to find one. Was it in your dream? No, the silence is in from Paulson. They will not allow the stomp to come through, and Masaros is still chasing them down. Meanwhile, Mizu dies to Q apparently in the mid lane. So you lost your off-lane Magnus.
Radiant's middle tower.
The bot lane, they've backed all the way now. GXR just don't know what Motivate are doing. They just continue to run at them. And suddenly Motivate Trust is a 3k net worth lead.
Yeah, they're building up. I think the one thing for GXR is that, you know, while they're taking these fights, they're not farming on their troll. They're going for the diffusal in your dream as well. So that means Mizu has to step in, give him in power every single time. And for Mizu, that's stuck at level 1. He was a laning Magnus, of course. He had to get Shockwave. So the flash farm for your troll here is going to be a bit slower than the Ursa. Battle Fury is pretty much up for Jackky, just flying out now. They clear out the bot tier 1. Masaros has a very long lane to just dance around in, rushing the Blink next. So we need that setup for the team into the BKB. So we're not seeing the Manta-style rush. You could still opt to go for it later on instead. You need to really prioritize the build-up. I think you just want to enable your team to take some fights, enable yourself to get some control out, and go from there. GXR, they've got to give some space out to In Your Dream, get the diffusal up. Once that's up, you can join these fights a lot easier.
Lane. Olison's going to be there to try and push this lane back out. Masaros going to be around, and we know Masaros wants to dive in, but a nice kick away from Paulson. He's on guard now. Make sure they can't just have their way. A bit of a quiet period after that long kind of bot initiation. We might see a big fight happening at the top side if GXR do end up committing, but it looks like Fearless has found out one. It's going to be Mizu. It does connect, Inkswell will not. He does not have Skewer away, so he is going to be forced to just kind of take some Mortimer's Kisses and die. The rest of Mtg, they will keep moving forward now into that triangle. They know In Your Dream's around there somewhere. And now they've spotted him out. Instead, though, they might just set onto 3-4-3. Inkswell's going to be out onto In Your Dream. It will land onto Masaros, but it won't matter. They've already lost 3-4-3. They'll try to turn around, but a big stop out. Leonak turning it right back around. There's your cookie out from Q. Paulson is going to try and run, but the block is there. And now Alacrity, he's the only one left. He will remnant a little bit. He does get Leonak, and maybe even finds Masaros, but there's your call out. Masaros going to try and buy more time. Back to the Ancient stack. Running down south, another remnant forward from Alacrity. He will eventually get the axe kill. But I'll tell you what, John, Masaros is just making so much space. He just continues to run at them over and over again. And you look at Jackky on that net worth board, he's just slowly trickling up. He's got the Battle Fury there on the Ursa very early on. And this is going to be a big concern for GXR, because In Your Dream, he's not been left alone to farm himself.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's not been prioritized as well. His jungle's just constantly contested. He has to look for the push up top, but even that's not safe. Fearless is here for the defense already.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gonna try RP, gonna be committed. A very nice one from Mizu. Onto the high ground, no. He won't reach.
Dire's middle tower is
It would have been a pretty sick play, but He won't reach. It will indeed just be to save in your dream. Look at Masaros, right back into the triangle. He knows exactly where in your dream's going to farm. He's going to force the rotations in again from GXR. And speaking of, Alacrity now has been called out. It's only a level 1 call though. He went max battle hunger to be able to be this aggressive. As Paulson now is going to roll in with the ink swap back on a Q. They'll get the snapfire, but now Paulson, he might be in danger. They'll have to swap out and they'll dunk on him. Back on a Jacky, who does kill off 3-4-3 on the Grimstroke, and they want a bit more now. They'll rush forward onto Mizu, and poor old Mizu, he has not had a fun series at all. He's already had 3 deaths going for himself into the X-Pac now. Matsro's going to control him up into the Earth Splitter. They'll get another in your dream. He is still trying to kite out and fight, but I don't think it's going to work out in his favor. Or maybe it does, because 3-4-3, he did buy back. Alacrity with the Inkswell. He will stun up Masaros, but Jacky's going to be around now on the Ursa. He'll try to turn around. Fearless is there with the boat. It won't be enough to save the Axe, but are they really going to keep going? Yeah, they are. Alacrity's not safe. He'll try to kick out points, but it's not going to be enough. Onto in your dream now. The battle trance is there, but he's doing no damage. The enraged from Jacky going to be more than enough, and in your dream going to give his own life away. It's a fiesta, John. This is what we're watching. We're watching a fiesta.
Oh yeah, it's just wild here. Constant running around, constant fights. In the end, Motivate Trust come out in a big way. They kill off the Ember and the Troll, and along with a couple more heroes. Jacky just building up now. You're seeing a matchup of Troll versus Ursa. It doesn't work all too well for the Troll. Enrage just counteracts everything you want to do. Your damage output in that window is cut. Your stun control with your roots are cut off. Your stand and fight you.
Paulson just going to be run down again by Masaros and the crew. And this is really clever from Masaros, John. I didn't really pick up on this, but the max battle hunger it's so much more effective than, say, the call before you have the blink up. Only problem for Masaros is he's got the blink up now. So I guess level 1 call, I mean, it's still working out. Like, who the hell cares?
And if you think about the level gain, the power spike each level gives, Berserker's Calls adds 0.4 seconds each level. You get so much more output from the DPS here.
Remnant away. Link is off cooldown now for Masaros, but Alacrity's going to cancel that off. Threatened as if he has a team behind him.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They are going to finally have a bit of a quiet period. I'm scared I may have jinxed it, but it does seem that way.
Smoke out from Motivate Trust, still invading triangle, 3-4-3.
Yep, 3-4-3, getting caught out again. They love starting with the Grimstroke, and they'll get him. 8th kill of the game already for Masaros, 17 minutes in. It's just not very often you get to see an axe this impactful from about 5 minutes to up until now. They go into the Roshan pin, of course, with the Ursa. It's not too hard to take this down. They are going to try and contest it. Alacrity is here. He's going to try and steal it, perhaps. They do stun him up, though, with the Torrent. Masaros unable to land the call yet, but Alacrity, he is out of remnants. He has nowhere to go. Well, maybe he does. His team is going to protect him. That'll be it. No, it won't. Top lane, they found Mizu. Skewer away. That's enough. You'll TP up.
They've got to play safe now. Blink is up on Mizudo, so Blink RP is available. They can look for that big team fight they can get off. With their Ember especially. Maelstrom already up as well on Alacrity, so once you empower up, that could be good, but they're still smoked here.
Yep, but they are call out. They've got the control. The kick away though, Paulson. Oh, that is a beautiful kick away from Paulson. He makes it so the Ember's out of range of the boat. And that was just enough to allow him to survive. And now they go back in. Mizu have the Inkswell. Maybe they can turn. There's the RP out, but he's already gone. In your dream with the battle trance trying to fight back, but he doesn't have the damage. He just can't survive. Alacrity has been X'd back into a torrent, but no, the remnant away. Gonna make it out. Or is it Masaros? He's having a look. He won't be able to find him, but what an absolute bloodbath this game number 3 has been. Into the tier 2 mid tower, they go
Radiant's
for a bit
middle
of chip
tower is under
damage.
attack.
And they still hold the Aegis. They could look to fight again if they wanted to. Nothing to be scared of, although. Masaros.
Oh, that's a big one. Maybe they could kill him off, and it looks like they will. They finally get the axe down.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Mollison onto Leonak. Be able to connect the roll. Alacrity misses the chains as well. Now Fearless will go back in for an X-Torrent onto the Ember with the Stompbound and the Cookie, but a nice slide of fist dodge. Meanwhile, Jackky killed off 3-4-3. What is Jackky doing? He's all by himself,
Radiant's
going
top
after the
tower is under
Grimstroke,
attack.
but he's gonna get out. In fact, he'll turn around. He still has the Aegis. Dream. I'm gonna try and roll, but the X-Pack is gonna be there into the loving arms of Jackky.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
10k net worth lead now for Motivate Trust. John, what the hell could GXR do? How do you stop this?
Radiant's bottom tower
You
is
keep
under
holding
attack.
back, try to prevent fights, avoid fights as much as possible. Keep farming up on your troll, and honestly at this point, start planning for high ground.
no.
If not, looking for the big RP chances.
You see, every time Alacrity shows on the map as well,
Radiant's top
Masaros
tower
is literally
is
just
under
chasing them.
attack.
He hasn't stopped the farm. He's not
Radiant's
stopping
top
a farm,
tower
John. He
is
just
fallen.
keeps running.
Yeah, that should be the game plan. Like, you're so far ahead in MG Trust. They've got great flash run potential here. You don't want to allow that to happen.
Cookie, bit off the mark there, but it won't matter because they have the blink called. 3-4-3's gone again, and now the boat will fly in right on to Mizu, and there's your
Radiant's top
dunk out.
tower is under attack.
Oh boy. I get afraid when I see performances like this, John. I'm scared ice from a wall. It's Jackky now, gonna move in. Alacrity, he's been dodging so many abilities this game. He's been doing a great job on the Ember, but it's just not enough yet. He needs more
Is
items.
under attack.
Yeah, he definitely needs way more farm. Trying to work on the
Radiant's
looks for
middle tower
protection.
is under
I think
attack.
that's fine. Maybe the Axe is going to
Dire's
be
bottom
a
tower
bit
is
better.
under
At least
attack.
you're going to have more uptime with your spirits. You're going
Radiant's
to be all
middle
over the
tower
place
has
even more.
fallen.
They do manage to isolate in your Dream though. That could be good, but the rest of the cores are a bit too far out to really play
Dire's
with the
bottom
info
tower
Leonak
is under
finds.
attack.
They'll just kind of hold
Radiant's
back. They
middle
take that
tower
top,
is under
the
attack.
mid tier 2. So they open up lots of potential here for the push. Age is still up for about 50 seconds. They can still look to make something happen here in that short time span.
They certainly could. Big smoke up GXR. Can they get it done?
Radiant are scanning.
They're not going to be around. Smoke. Jackky is going to break the smoke, but he has an Aegis. He's happy to break the smoke with the team. Alacrity's in though, onto Masaros. He wants to get rid of this axe ASAP, and he's doing a lot of damage. Masaros gets the call off. Fearless finally gets the boat in to try and help out. There's your Soulbind. Mizu not committing the RP yet. Jackky meanwhile connecting with the Soulbind. Where are they going? In your dream, he got cubed, but it may cost him his own life for that. Or maybe not with the battle trance. He's going to try and fight back, but it's still an Aegis you're fighting into. Jacky's going to have his way with him. So Leonak also drops, and now the Aegis is gone. But Motivate Trust, they are not done yet. They want to keep this fight up. Mizu's in with the RP, put him on the high ground, make him think about what he's done until he has the Earth Shock back. He's got to be KB ready as well. You've got to be careful. Alacrity now going to be jumped on, but he has the remnants forward. They'll get the chains into the torrent, but he gets the Yule Scepter. The Earth Splitter though is going to connect. Where's the other remnants? It's not going to be there. Polison, he tried to save the day, but it's going to cost both their lives.
A dead mother would have done much worse.
And MTG, GXR, they were so close to winning that team fight, but it's just not enough. It is just not enough.
No, they keep trying to
Radiant's
focus down
bottom
the
tower
Axe.
is under
They managed
attack.
to find that kill on Masaros, but they couldn't handle the Ursa. Like, Jacky's way too big. They still have ways of keeping In Your Dream from just getting what he wants done. They've got the Heaven Halberd running right now on Fearless on top of all the other control they have. So it's a tough game for In Your Dream to just stand there and do what he has to do. And the side of Motivate Trust, well, Aegis is gone. They lost a couple of heroes, but they are still 15k up. It's 14 to 31. a hell of a lot of kills to have at 24 minutes in, as the farm is just trickling through from Motivate Trust. They've got the Guardian Reeves up in queue, so they've got more sustain and up top.
And your dream again being targeted here. Jacky and Masaros going to be held back by the Soulbind, but it looks like they're not done yet. Masaros wants to try and see if he can keep up. Yeah, he gets the call off. It's always poor old 343. Give the kill over to Jacky again. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they've started another team fight. Q, he's the one being targeted right now, the Snapfire. The boat is going to protect that area though. But how do you get out of this, Q? He'll try, but the remnants will give vision, and eventually they will get the kill. But here comes the cavalry again, John. War just never seems to end, as Mizu is going to be able to skewer. Masaros not going to land the call. The chaos, it ensued for a bit, but it will slow down, at least for now.
Yeah, the temper is off. You don't lose the biggest heroes from either side, you only really lose your supports. So that's a bit of good news for Galaxy Racer. They get some time to try and keep farming, try and keep building up. Inner Dream needs that PKB up ASAP. A long way off from it, lacking every single part to buy out. Leonak does see that though.
Paulson gonna be targeted. Jacky, nice little kill. In your dream, gonna try and run, but gets an instant bash. Why the hell not just bash on command? In your dream, that's the 7th death of the game for the Troll Warlord. It's been a very tough time. He's just got no farm, and this is just the way you shut down a carry like Troll. You just keep running at them.
Yeah, he can't farm. He can't leverage his Empower to clear out camps. He can't do anything. Like every single time he's just jumped on by Motivate Trust. They need to figure out some spot for the map where he can farm. Maybe start to plant some wards around the area and really just focus on giving that Troll a way of catching up. Motivate Trust, they're just still chasing. Ooh, Masaros.
Yeah. Masaros loves Alacrity. Just absolutely loves catching the Ember this game. Fearless been doing a great job on the Kunkka as well of setting up with the X's for sure. This is the Motivate Trust you love to see, right? Like this team that just works together so darn well. Like they're extensions of their own hands almost. As your Abyssal Blade out now on Jacky, but a big smoke up from GXR. Props to them as well, considering the net worth deficit. You'd think they would have lost a lot more objectives by this point, but that has not been the case, and they are still within territory to make a comeback happen. This game is certainly not over.
No, there's a lot of opportunities. I think for GXR, we have to see Mizu really land these RPs for his team. He has to step up to the plate, get the control off. The follow-up is there. He just needs to find the angle. Motivate Trust makes it really hard to look for that angle though, as they do smoke up now on Motivate Trust's side. And at GXR, we just saw them smoke to really just get control back. Let's see if they manage to avoid this one.
Targeted here on Magnus. This one on 343, but they got the call on Masaros. Gets the Magnus, gets rid of him. No RP for 40 seconds or so. Should mean another tier 2 tower for the side of Motivate Trust. Back to Alacrity now is going to go for a creep skip, but he may be spotted here by Leonak. Now he is, but he's going to try and go for the kill. Stomp out. Jacky immediately wants to go after the Ember. They are not going to be able to find him instead. Paulson mid lane needs to be very careful, as Fearless now is going to have a look. Roll away. Masaros is right behind him, but doesn't have the vision. Instead, he'll go on to 343 and just takes the easier kill. And Roshan's up in about 7 seconds, John, and there's a double damage rune up top.
Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty darn big. Free Ag Shard coming through from Motivate Trust if they manage to clean it up. Of course, the DD will speed up that process as well. And they should probably just look to take Roche. GXR can fight in the pit. It all relies on Mizu getting an RP, but that kind of tight spot could be his best shot at that RP.
Fearless trying to save the DD route for Jacky, but Jacky just says he does not want it. No bottles up either, I don't believe. Jackky, he'll take the chance, so now you've got that that enrage on the Earth shot, which is quite devastating to fight into. GXR, they're doing the best they can of just split pushing out the lanes and trying to delay the game out and buy more time for In Your Dream.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
TG though, they're
structures
looking
are
to go high
fortified.
ground now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Jackie's on.
Radiant structures
He's still got
are
about half the
fortified.
duration.
Dire's bottom
GXR
tower
will
is
slowly
under
make their way
attack.
over, defend the high
Dire's
ground,
top
and
tower has fallen.
Jackky, it looks like he's not
Dire's
planning to back
bottom
off
tower
anytime soon. They will X him up just in case he gets
Radiant's middle
skewered
tower
back.
has fallen.
At least you can guarantee you can
Dire's
pull him back
bottom tower
to
is
safety
under
without
attack.
really costing anything.
Radiant's middle barracks
And this is a very
under
smart
attack.
way of fighting into the Magnus. As you can see, Mizu's going to try, but it's not going to work out because he can always get X back like that.
It's just the low committal push for Motivate Trust.
Radiant's middle barracks
GXR
are
have to
under
find some
attack.
way to counteract this, but they can't get a good RP angle. Motivate Trust are disciplined to de-split and just trying to stay far apart, preventing any sort of access here for Mizu. And it's a slow process on the rack, so eventually they will go.
Roll in, they get the kickback, and the Yule Scepter. The X has been cancelled now. Jackky might have to commit to the team fight. He'll pump the enrage, and no, he's going to back out. But never mind, Masteros is in. He's found In Your Dream, but they are not going to commit for it. They leave with the range racks for now. Not looking to try and rush this game and give away back for GXR. Just take it easy and get some more farm up.
Yeah, they know that the high ground is the scariest part of pushing into Galaxy Racer. The RP is always a big factor. It goes through your BKB, and power on Ember at the high ground is very, very scary as well. So they respect that output on GXR. They know that they can defend quite nicely. They'll just go back, take over the triangle, get some more farm. They have a lot of time left in that Aegis. No rush. Still about 2.5 minutes. So really nothing to rush out for. It's down to Galaxy Racer to try and force something awkward to come in. If not, just keep holding the high ground. There's a bit of a smoke out from 343 and IYV, looking like they're just trying to farm, although.
Well, they're gone on. The X-Back is there. Paulson to get himself out. Jackky wants to try and do the X-Back play over and over again, it seems, to finish off this mid-racks. He is respecting the side of GXR. Once again, you can't skewer like that unless you have the Yule Scepter straight after from Alacrity. But they had to stomp out to make sure Alacrity could not follow up. Now Jacky's in. He found 343 and he bursts it down. Buyback from 343. That's going to be enough for Motivate to back again.
Radiant's top tower is under
Fair.
attack.
They just go back, reset a bit, keep going for slow play.
Masteros, he's in. They've caught out Paulson on the Earth Spirit. They got the Soulbind with the double stance and now the skewer RP back. It's not going to be good enough though. There was just no follow-up damage. Paulson will commit the buyback.
Radiant's
Motivate
top
Trons,
tower
they
is
small
under
blood in the
attack.
water though. They look pretty darn healthy. They don't need a reset yet as they go back in, but there's your Yule Scepter from Alacrity.
Radiant's
It just
top
won't
tower
matter
is
though.
under attack.
Fearless, he will wait out the Yules.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Mizu, oh, a nice little skewer back with the shards. Jackie's still going to be alright, kick back into the tier 4 towers. Now Masteros in with the call. Jackky still so darn healthy with the enrage. He's going to try and fight back. In fact, they get Paulson. That'll be the tieback on the Earth Spirit. Your Dream going to avoid the X-Torrent.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
That's the mid-racks finally going down. TG, they still have that Aegis. Not going to back off yet. They even have the
Radiant's
cheese
bottom
available.
tower is under attack.
They have all the pieces. They don't have long cooldowns, so good.
Jacky's right in. Does pop his BKB charge for that, and that may be enough for him to back out now. Alacrity though, definitely wants to try and chase him some kills. It is going to go for the backside onto Leonard, back in onto Jackky. Masteros meanwhile does jump in. A nice skewer back from Mizu. None of it makes a difference though. Here. Going to be targeted here In Your Dream. Aegis does expire as well, so Jackky, no secondary life now, but he found in your dream on the troll. Chain him up, Soulbind is there, bashes immediately out onto the Magnus. He can't get the skewer off, he is trying his best, but he won't be able to get it at the end. Now in your dream, a big battle trance into the enraged Ursa, so they do finally get Jackky. They defend the high ground successfully as now they try to punish the rest of Motivate Trust. You will die, Fearless also being caught out. There goes Leonard. Mizu will skewer Fearless back one last time. The only person to get out is going to be Masaros. While they do lose one lane of barracks and one extra tier 3 tower, they are defending.
That they are. It's a long and tedious process for GXR. But they are finally getting the punishment off onto Motivate Trust. It's still not too bad for Motivate Trust. 19 to 39, 20k lead. They've got a lot of leeway here. GXR has to go through that mid tier 1 first before looking for the tier 2 mid. The side lanes would have been a viable option, but the PKs are all sort of shoved in.
Masaros forced to pop the BKB to try and run from Alacrity. Still Alacrity wants to keep going, but has no mana for the chains left. In fact, never mind. He just regens it up. Another call out, but they've got the target. Get him once again.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
GXR, they could be on their way to a comeback. They are still very far behind. But with that last big team fight that occurred and essentially just committing a full team wipe with the axe kill, you never really know.
Yeah, they are. They've got some momentum back. I think the farm advantage that you have here on Jackky is still substantial, but the troll is starting to close in on everyone else. In fact, they have at least managed to overtake Masaros. They are fairly close to Fearless's farm, which is good news. In Your Dream's trying to rush the Scotty next, so just more ways to try and kind of kite around the Ursa, get some slows off, prevent the Ursa from just running around doing what he wants. I think the Yule's plays coming through have been really important as well. Every single time Jacky's not pulled back, and ends up being really awkward for Motivate Trust. Like, he's stuck in the middle of everyone. He doesn't really want to be there. That should be Masaros' job, copying the hits from everyone else. And it's just a really awkward position. So I think as long as GXR keeps forcing Motivate Trust to play that conservative way on the high ground, they're always going to have that opportunity for punishment. And Motivate Trust will have to really take care of how they come in. I'm looking at the build-up from Masaros. He went for the Ags build on the Axe. So he's got the additional Battle Hunger from the call. All targets will get the Battle Hunger, and it reduces their armor by 7 while giving Axe 7 armor per Battle Hunger hit. So, or per call hit with a Battle Hunger. So it's potent in that you get so much more armor on your Axe and a heck lot of DPS. I think you might want to consider the Ag Shard build up now on the Axe. Go for the right click build. Just kind of scale up from there. It is going to be the Sanj and Kaya next, or Kaya and Sanj coming through for Masaros, which is the safer play. Now he's shifting around. S and Y now. So, going to the In Your Dream.
Kind of makes me want that voice line now that I know what it means. Sounds kind of cool. Might have to buy the boom one as well. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'll have a look straight after this game. Suss it out.
Yeah, it's a sweet one. Oh, come on, boss. Where you going, boss? But unfortunate for IYD, the pauses from his side. So you should be asking Paulson where he was. Still, the on pause is there. Next Roche is still about a minute until we see that timer. So neither side has that to play for yet. And GXR, despite those wins, again, don't really have a lane to push. They take the mid-tier 1, their side lanes up top, and bot are 2 shoved out. Can't really go for a tier 2 yet. And that will give enough time for Motivate Trust to just respawn in and start to consider how else to approach the high ground. Scotty is fully up on In Your Dream. So he's got the stats to play with, he's got the slow, he's got the reduction on lifesteal and regen, which is really big for the troll here, because it looks like Jacky's trying to go for a Satanic, which would help the cause, as he saw what happened. In Your Dream just kind of healed up to full with his battle trance with no disarm on hand, whereas there was no lifesteal on Jackky. So that's sort of preempted already by the Scotty. We'll have to see. Jacky should still probably pick it up. He's just got to keep it in mind now that perhaps that Satanic might not feel as good if the Scotty procs on it.
Certainly not. Bide their time a bit here, Motivate. Next Roshan going to be so important, but it is going to be a minute 20 seconds away. There's your side device up now on Fearless, so a bit more control now on your Conquer. Alacrity going straight for the refresher orb to be able to have so many remnants up. Very impactful once you get to that point. Burst damage with those remnants. Gonna go for a smoke here. Quiet, nobody has a smoke.
Okay. Just moving his 5. Looks like they're trying to put In Your Dream in front as the gate, but not really. Maybe eyeing the next Roche. Still 40 seconds off, so still no option for that. Side of Trust are still playing their own top jungle as well, so they're going to be able to preempt that movement into the pit, preempt any sort of smoke play that may come out here, and just still hold steady. Looks like Fearless is just trying to go for the Aeon Disc to have a bit of a combo breaker there, so he's not instantly picked off. He can still get the boat and X off for his team, provide some control, provide a boat buff, and it looks like the smoke play is coming from Motivate Trust instead.
Yes.
A tool to teach.
No. G. We're gonna break the smoke. Ball is out. They've got Polo, somebody got his BKB off in time. They can get the magnetize out. Still, they will continue to chase. Mizu immediately hexed up. Is not going to be able to RP. It's a triple kill out for Jacky. That's not great for the side of GXRs. Now, how do you even fight this Roshan?
It's tough. You really want one of your supports up there to follow up on the RP. Mizu bites back early, but they can't make their way to the pit. It's a massive risk to take with just 3 heroes up against 5. And of course, this still melts really fast to the side of Motivate because they've got that Ursa. So they get Aegis, Cheese, and the free Ag's Blessing coming out for Jacky now, which means lower cooldown and rage, usable through stuns. Jacky's gonna have a very, very good time playing up front now.
Should. Still holding out, but it's a 30k net worth lead for MG Trust. They might start slowly going high ground again. Those tier 4 items up first though. Spend a bit of time farming those up first. Saab, they're still in their base. They've got a smoke, so they might commit that to try and get something going for themselves. Well, TG have also smoked up now. Your dream has been caught. Masteros trying to fly him up in time. Can they get it done? The Hex is there. He cannot battle Trash. He could fight back, but he might need to do it ASAP, as they are losing everything on the side of GXR. Masteros gets the Grimstroke. RP is there. Mizu needs to steal back. Won't be able to get it. They've lost 3-4-3. Jacky's in right in front of the fountain. The buybacks are there now, but they can't deal with the Ursa. There is too much in range as Masteros is in again with the call. He's got the big one, he's got the troll. Fearless with the hex out, the control, the battle trance needs to come out of time. The skill are going to save the day, the whole sauce are down the battle trance. They get the Aegis, they'll get Masteros on the axe. Maybe this is it, maybe this is where they finally turn this game around. As now Jacky has been left in the Radiant base, but can they beat him? Can they take him out? It looks like they sure can. As another skill back from Mizu, trying to just bring more and more food in, but he's going to lose his own life for that. They'll get Jacky anyway. They'll get Q down. And it costs them quite a few buybacks, but they make the high ground defense work.
Ah, clear sailing.
Yep, they hold on. Motivate Trust because they were rushing down from mid. They don't really take
Dire's
any
bottom
more additional
tower is under
objectives. They don't
attack.
manage to take the top racks. They don't manage to take the bot racks. So it's still down to even map control, which means GXR has an avenue now to play
Dire's
for.
bottom tower is
Motivate
under
Trust. Without Aegis, without the cheeses on hand, it's going to feel awkward in the next few fights. It's really risky. You have your Ursa up front. No backup for a long time. They don't respect the Magnus single RP coming through with Mizu's buyback.
Dire's
Managing to get
middle
enough
tower
control.
is under attack.
And the throughput with the Empower is now at the point where we're at 42 minutes in. These cores will hit hard. They've got the items to do it. They've got the durability to stand in front and fight. And Motivate Trust, well, they're going to have to wait for a bit. Wait for the response once more. Be patient. But that is more time for GXR to play this catch-up game and maybe find those items they need. Like the refresh on Alacrity is still a ways off, but he's got time to wait for it next. The Satanic for In Your Dream, now that one is almost done. Just about 300 gold off from that, and once it's up, well, his lifesteal with Battle Trance up already, it's a lot of sustain that we've seen work against Motivate Trust. They still have nothing to mitigate that heal as well. So In Your Dream's just going to be a bit harder to kill off if he does manage to use his spells and items at the right time.
Can. Still a 27k deficit. It's just one of those games where it just doesn't matter. Debate starting to move back in. They're gonna have to try and respond to this top side, but Fearless keeps himself back. Easy kind of Tidebringer hit for him. You know what would be quite nice though is if Fearless got his own Aghanim Scepter. I feel like the Torrent Storm would be pretty annoying right here for GXR. He hasn't gotten it up. And Mizu, Ortos, and the skewer back. They've got the Kunka. BKB up, X is there on In Your Dream now. Jacky jumping right in with the bashes, but it's not going to be enough. Fearless will still survive, however, Paulson now going to be targeted. The Earth Spirit might just drop, and it looks like he will. In Your Dream, RT3 are going to be committed for that. Can they fight this one out in Your Dream? He's going to try. He will get Leonard. He's trying to fight Jacky, and it looks like he's going to beat him out as well. With the battle traps, they'll take them down. The buybacks have been committed, though. MTG, they're coming back. It's 3 versus 5. Mizu, forced off forward, skewer back into Alacrity again. They want Fearless there, but he will not die. He's going to run away again. Alacrity still alive somehow himself, will try to remnant back and does make it out. Masros to drop. No buyback. MTG, it's still a 5 versus 3. They've committed all their buybacks. There are no buybacks left on this map.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Meanwhile, Alacrity, he does buy the Refresher Orb now, and he's got his 5 remnants back up. Can they defend 3v5?
I think they can. The issue is they don't have RP, so you're going to have to look for a big one toss again from Mizu. He's done it a couple of times now. As long as he keeps getting that one big target all the way to the back line, it's going to feel really awkward for Motivate Trust to kind of run up and help out. They are going to be able to still focus on the objectives, working on that last set of racks. So we see the Megas come through.
Oh, another Horn Toss Fearless. He has the Aeondis to try and survive through the initial onslaught. As now Matros is in with the call. Jacky going to try and help out onto the drop. Battle Trance is back up. He will be able to get it off the side In Your Dream. The man fight begins. Onto Jacky. If you can get the Ursa, you might be able to make the comeback. The skewer back from Mizu as well. They hold them down into the tier 4 tower, and Jacky is going to die. A tie back on the Ursa as they rush forward now. GXR, they'll keep going. Alacrity onto Q. Another tie back on the Snapfire if they can get it, and it looks like they will. Uh-oh. MTG, what have you done?
Well, they opted to go for the throat. They missed. They end up stabbing themselves on their own arm. Now they're the ones bleeding out. And, well, Galaxy Racer, they've got a big opportunity. They can take the tier 2. They can go into the high ground. They can look for the tier 4s. No buybacks in the supports. No buyback on
Dire's
Jacky.
middle tower is under
You're going to have to fight for a minute 20 without Ursa,
Dire's structures
and without the
are
two supports,
fortified.
somehow, at least Fearless has buyback, but I don't think Axe and Kunkka alone can do enough. You can see Monsters though going for the creep cutting, so he's trying to prevent too many creeps from living true. And because there's no wave, it's going to be hard, although Alacri's going to keep him away.
No, Fearless is going to try to defend by himself. Mizzle again, the Hauntoss skewer back. They've got him. Fearless, he's going to BKB and try to run with the boat fleet. The bash of the range axes and now the RP. They know he's the only one that could have bought back. He's still going to try and survive somehow. But how do you? When you've been netted up by in your dream, you are going to drop. Masteros, he's trying to creep skip the best he can. He'll go for the BKB TP out. He's going to make it out. The mid racks, there are no creeps up. They'll get through the backdoor protection, but I don't feel like they'll have enough damage for the T4 towers without creeps around. So Masteros has saved the day for Motivate Trust. At the very least, GXR have evened out this game, and it's only a 4K net worth lead now. It's down from 30K.
That is just ridiculous. GXR is somehow going against all odds. I mean, this is the one thing though. You go late game against Troll, Ember, Magnus. You have to remember, Magnus is one of the scariest late game heroes. It's like Enigma, right? Black Hole will just always be impactful. In this case, RP is always impactful. And Mizu stepped up to the plate with his horn toss plays. So he's managed to get the heroes into the back, skewered them back, picked them off, get the 4v5. Looks like at the least they've stalled out long enough that Jacky's back in, but this time without the Kunkka, without the boat, very difficult to keep yourselves alive here.
That it is, John.
Never refuse gold given.
GXR, they're going to move back in that die jungle and get that outpost back for themselves now. Motivate Trust. You've got to start wondering if you motivate. Like, what are we doing wrong here? How can we not make this win happen? Oh, these kind of games, it starts to feel like you're going to get to the point where you're going to go past the 60-minute mark. Those tier 5 items might start popping up for either side.
So I think the big thing Motivate Trust need is they need to find a backline. I think they need a Snapfire Axe. Like, they need something like Kisses to really reach all the way back. Maybe try to catch out the Ember or someone, or Magnus before he gets the skewer back. Because every time it's GXR initiating, it's GXR catching one out. We haven't been able to see Monsters do the damage he needs to. He does have the Ag shard up, but he didn't go really all in on attack speed, so not getting as many spins as he'd want. There's still the smoke play here from Motivate though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, now Leonard. Masteros is in with the call. 3-4-3. He's going to be targeted. Aeon Disc is going to proc. Alacrity, meanwhile, in the backside. Got Leonard on the Auto Titan. Jacky, he's got Paulson, but Paulson is going to try and force stuff away. In your dream and Alacrity, though, still moving on to Leonard. Meanwhile, Mizu gets Fearless's courier apparently in the middle of all this. As Masteros is back in. We'll get 3-4-3, and Jacky does get Mizu, but the buybacks are going to be immediate. The Roshan is up. Neither team can allow that Roshan to go down to the other. And with Motivate not having as many buybacks, in fact they have none, it'll be very difficult for them to try and fight this Roshan. But maybe now with GXR committing their own buybacks, perhaps they can.
They can't allow it to go. They have no choice. It's either they fight here and lose here, or they play it safe, then give 2 lives out to the Troll. Aegis Cheese, refresh plus an Ags, like double RP. It's just so much you have to worry about. So they need to keep eyes here. And GXR are the one, because they freshly expended buybacks as well, means they're also being rather cautious, and looks like both sides might actually just avoid a rush for now, waiting for someone to make a move first. And your dream does weave his way in.
For
So
my
they will commit. Now the question is, can Motivate Trust find a way to punish this? And they're going to have to find an angle soon.
Give it a crack. Stop. Not going to be on target. Your Dream still going for that Roshan. Ursa gonna fly through. They even get the boat fleet out. In fact, they exit back in. Torrent does connect. Another boat landing in Your Dream. He gets quite low. He does still have the ulti and Satanic. They want to start with beautiful Jacky trying to pick Roshan. He's got the Aegis. They've got the Aegis on the Ursa. Meanwhile, on the backside, Mizu, he committed the RP. He's gonna refresh all both. He can throw another one out. Jacky might lose his first life. He's still trying to run those going back in now. Onto In Your Dream. They want the troll, but they will lose the Aegis. Meanwhile, Mizu looking in the backside, just being very patient, holding onto the second RP, but no, they found him. They have found him. Mazros and Jacky once again catching up the map without buyback. Still Alacrity In Your Dream. Gonna go onto the Ursa. He'll refresh the enrage. There's a call out. They'll get Alacrity, but he's gonna buy back. Remnant back in. Paulison buys back as well. Alacrity still trying to fight. They'll get Masteros. The hex out from Fearless though. In Your Dream with the battle trance. He's still trying to fight, but Jacky's back in now. He'll get the troll. The buybacks are back again. The troll's coming back into the team fight. Paulison is still just gonna try and back off. He does not want to tie back, and GXR will do the same.
Dire's middle tower is under
What
attack.
a game number 3
Radiant's
we are
middle
watching,
tower
John.
has fallen.
Yeah, it's kind of insane to think about that. GXR are holding on so tight, whether you trust or not able to close out. Now think about it. This matchup has no bearing at all, but they're playing like it's TI finals. I love it. They're just on the edge, pouring their hearts out. And GXR, they lose out the fight. They lose out the Roach. Jacky with that really impressive sneaky play in, managing to steal that away, and he took, I think, everything but cheese. So he had a refresh, he had free Ags upgrade on the deck. He sells his Ags to free up that item slot now, going for the MKP. And that could be when Jacky starts to get that consistent damage. He's not going to have to worry about the evasion. He's not going to have to miss all the time in the middle. It should help even out the core matchup as they do start pushing onto the high ground. Respawn still in about half a minute. Ancient is exposed. XR has to be super cautious in this fight.
No, they're going in, Jacky. He's not playing around with the Swift Link. It's right in. They'll have to take the fight. There's no choice in this man. Paulison, he'll get started with the Magnetize, but the BKBs are out immediately. Is now In Your Dream. He's going to try and find a target to get, but they are just throwing boats at him right now.
Is under attack.
Soulbind, also going to be committed. Jacky will blink out. The respawns are coming up. So Motivate are going to pay their respects to GXR. I think you have to as well, especially with Mizu on the Magnus. He still has double RP. So even though he hasn't landed the biggest RPs this game, it only takes one.
Oh yeah.
Swiftly,
Just needs one to turn the tides now, as both sides are
bold and sweet.
pretty much on the edge. GXR is on a scarier spot because they only have, well, they have no buybacks, and Motivate Trust have 3 on hand. So you've got to be very cautious here in GXR. Motivate Trust can look to keep forcing something out. They're going to hit their level 30 spike on Jacky soon as well. Well, I say soon, relatively soon. Could be big.
Don't go to that remnant.
Dire are scanning.
Won't. He's gonna just use the AoE to burn some of the creeps. 20k net worth lead, but I can't say that matters. It doesn't anymore.
5 minutes until tier 4 items, tier 5 items, so that could be spicy if the game lasts that long. You can start to see some cool plays. Maybe you see the Force Boots to free up an item slot. Maybe you see something like the Apex, or I think one of my favorites really Ex Machina. Like it's just a 25-second BKB. Because you refresh your BKB, its actual cooldown doesn't matter still.
RP's out, they've got the big one. They've got Jacky, but he has buyback available. They'll try to get the first life off him. Soulbind gonna hold them down. Leonak with the stomp out. In Your Dream, still trying to chase Q down. He's dropping quite low in terms of HP. Now Paulus is in. Earth with the connect. They've got the big one. They've got the troll with the RP again. In from Mizu to make sure In Your Dream does survive. And now he can get the battle trance off in time.
no.
In Your Dream goes down. Masteros, he's just dunking on everyone. It's all over.
Man. What a series. What a game between Galaxy Racer and Motivate Trust. And this is what we were looking for from Galaxy Racer. Now, they didn't manage to win out. They took game 2 fairly well. Game 3 was a lot closer than the scoreboard would tell you, 33 to 60. Motivate Trust had to work for that closeout. They had to